We thought we had seen every twist the celebrity circus could fling at us, but the confession dropped like a meteor in the quiet hours before dawn. Cassie's husband had finally blurted out that Sean Diddy Combs had been wiring them a neat $1 million every single month. Yes, 12 fat bundles a year, just to keep their lips stapled shut. Picture it. Hush money payments so huge they would make even the most jaded fixer choke on his oat milk latte. We had always whispered that Diddy's closets rattled with more bones than a theme park haunted house. Yet the sheer audacity of this number jolted us awake. We leaned forward, phones glowing under the covers, wondering what shadow-drenched secrets could possibly come with such a staggering price tag. Were we on the brink of the entertainment industry's very own magnum opus scandal? Or was this only the overture to an operatic meltdown that would leave reputations in tatters and careers smoldering? Feeling the chill of implications seep in. If Diddy needed to buy silence with that kind of cash, then whatever he was hiding must make garden-variety tabloid sins look like parking tickets. We pictured luxury hotel suites transformed into clandestine negotiation war rooms, clauses thicker than phone books, listing who must never breathe a syllable about what. And there, at the center, Cassie and her husband, once cast by gossip columns as the sweethearts escaping a toxic past, now revealed as gatekeepers to pandemonium. Were they brave whistleblowers who had finally broken free? Or willing in a giant hush fund hustle? Suspicion clung to them like the scent of too much cologne in an elevator. Third replay, we felt the moral ground tilting. Cassie, the singer who once crooned innocent hooks, and her newly crowned spouse, a personal trainer turned family man in tailored suits, suddenly looked a shade less pure. If they had accepted those gilded gag orders for even a second, did that not make them complicit in burying whatever nightmare Diddy wanted erased? We couldn't ignore the math. $1 million a month equals $12 million a year. Enough to buy silence, sure, but also enough to tempt even the most righteous soul to look the other way. And then, as icing on this crooked cake, came the revelation that Vade wanted more. Much more. That was the spark that lit the powder keg. According to insiders with coffee breath, gossip, and trembling hands, Cassie's husband allegedly leaned across a posh steakhouse booth, murmured that $1 million a month no longer cut it, and hinted they'd reveal everything unless the wire transfers grew fat enough to make Jeff Bezos blush. Blackmail is an ugly word, so we'll call it what the power players whispered: leverage. But leverage in the wrong hands turns into dynamite, and somewhere between the lobster tails and chocolate lava cake, the situation lurched from hush money tango to all-out hostage crisis. Diddy, incensed, purportedly vowed to shred them in court. Cassie's team filed a civil suit, so dramatic, it seemed ghost-written by the showrunner of a streaming thriller. By sunrise, legal filings flew faster than studio executives at an awards season after the courtroom became a pressure cooker. We heard the gasp-worthy rumor that Diddy and Cassie's husband nearly came to blows, right there between the wood-paneled walls. Security scrambling while the judge hammered his gavel like a DJ with a broken beat. Some swear Diddy's diamond cufflinks hit the floor. Others claim a bodyguard intercepted a rogue right hook. Cameras were banned, but eyewitness sketches leaked in eager pencil strokes to silhouettes lunging, and entourage peeling them apart. Reporters were glued to every tensed jaw muscle. Was it melodrama? Probably. Did it fuel the narrative? Absolutely. And in the haze of sworn statements and hush sidebar conferences, the allegation surfaced that Diddy maintained a covert witness bribery fund. A clandestine kitty stuffed with more hush dollars destined for anyone who might squeal. We imagined brown envelopes sliding across marble tables, NDAs rustling like leaves in a gale, a paper trail that could form a pyre high enough to roast an empire. When we thought the plot had peaked, leaked screenshots dubbed by insiders as Cassie's revenge emails appeared like digital ghosts. Lines hinted at long-range schemes, a chessboard view on which she would hold Diddy's misdeeds hostage until her payoff reached generational wealth territory. One message allegedly read like a manifesto on power reversal. Another sketched out a timeline for maximum public relations damage. Were these the calculated moves of a trauma survivor weaponizing her pain or the cold strategy of a double agent out for platinum-plated vengeance. The inbox glimmered with betrayal so sharp it could slice through a manslaughter conviction. Stepped back to survey the crumbling citadel, once known as the Bad Boy Kingdom. For decades, Diddy had strutted over pop culture, his name synonymous with yacht parties, private jet escapades, and diamond-crusted catchphrases. Now, the glitter felt like camouflage peeled away to expose something fetid beneath. Headlines once praising his eye for talent now emblazoned words like racketeering and trafficking, boardrooms whispered exit strategies, brand partners fumbled for emergency clauses, streaming numbers dipped as listeners questioned every lyric that once pulsed through club speakers. We felt the chill that creeps in when a titan's armor cracks. Many voices had been stifled by lavish settlements or intimidation. Marathons. The indictment painted a portrait of intimacy marathons called freak-offs, multi-day, chemically enhanced theatrics featuring hired companions and videotaped spectacle, allegedly orchestrated by Diddy for his private gratification. Witness after witness described hotel suites transformed into kaleidoscopes of dim lights, silk sheets, and pillows soaked in a fog of party enhancers. As one victim told the jury, those events became a job, a chilling phrase we can't erase. From our thoughts, she spoke of feeling trapped inside a gilded cage, identity dissolving into a role scripted by someone else's appetite. Remember the surveillance footage, so infamous it earned primetime billing? A hallway scuffle from 2016 where a towel-clad Diddy yanked Cassie, shoved her, dragged her across carpet like discarded luggage. It flickered on the courtroom monitor. Jurors leaned forward. Diddy's attorneys insisted the clip was doctored. Cassie's hands shook at the memory. That video may be only seconds long, yet in those seconds, the public saw a superstar's polished veneer scorch away, leaving raw aggression. And when Cassie, voice quivering but steady, declared, "I felt worthless, just like dirt, like I didn't matter to him." We felt the collective inhale of everyone watching the broadcast ticker scroll. One juror wiped a tear. Social media erupted fury memes. Think pieces on power imbalance. Barreled in like a wrecking ball clad in designer suits. They painted Cassie as a willing adventurer in those intimacy expeditions, flashing chat, logs peppered with flirty banter, brandishing transcripts where she joked about being always ready to freak off. They hammered her with questions about a settlement she'd taken in 2023. $20 million pocketed in a day, implying the only thing she fought for was a bigger payday. Yet Cassie never blinked when she said, "I'd give that money back if I never had to do freak-offs," a line that rang through the chamber like church bells at midnight. We felt the pendulum swing again, toward empathy, and still, the defense nodded. They dragged out jealousy spats, mental health rumors, whispers of mutual violence. We wondered whether the jury, bombarded by legal fireworks, could parse the difference between a toxic relationship and a criminal enterprise. Meanwhile, prosecutors stacked evidence, seized hotel paraphernalia, packages of powdered bravery, mood-lighting gadgets, stacks of cash inert still-life exhibits that hinted at long nights better left unremembered. Don Richard of Danity Kane took the stand, recounting breakfast-time fury when Diddy allegedly hurled a skillet because his eggs weren't perfect. She described Cassie shielding her face, falling to the floor while security looked on, powerless or complicit. The judge's gavel banged again as objections flew, but the scene was seared into our imagination like scorch marks on stainless steel. Couldn't ignore the cavalry working quietly behind Cassie, the razor-sharp legal squad, whose bespoke suits cost more than a starter condo and whose conference rooms overlooked the very courthouse they now stalked. We noticed how every document they filed arrived in choreographed waves. First, the civil claim that stunned Diddy into that lightning-fast settlement 2 years ago. Then, the surgically precise motions that pried open sealed evidence for the criminal trial. They set the rhythm of this saga like maestros guiding a symphony, wielding precedent like a baton and teaching us that, in the realm of the litigation is its own performance art. We watched them bargain with chilling composure, pushing the initial $30 million settlement, demand like poker pros who knew the other player's hand before the cards hit the table. When Diddy countered with $20 million, they accepted but not before securing clauses that let them pivot to criminal cooperation if new offenses surfaced. Clauses that would later prove radioactive. It was a masterclass in pressure economics. Leverage the threat of public disgrace, cash out, then leave the door ajar for round 2. Once public sentiment turned justice or jackpot.